You can start.
I know, I was kidding. Smile. Many people think of me as the mindset guy, and they ask me, where did you learn how to work on your mind and so on. They see the posts, or in the book, I wrote a business book where I talk about mindset a great deal. But actually mindset is only one of 4 elements that I focus on. Mindset is incredibly important because it enables other areas of our life to really be fulfilled and to give our best. But there's not just mindset, there's mindset. There is what I call body set, right? There is the looking after our body, because our body is the vehicle that we live in and that we need to optimize so that we have less to think about, less worries and less patches, and we are able to achieve our objectives because our body, our machine works well. And then there is the heart, the stuff that belongs to the heart, and that's the emotions, the passion, the kindness, the doing the right thing even when the right thing is the hard thing, to love. And there's that kind of stuff that I really focus on just as much, if not more, than the mindset. But perhaps I don't talk about it that much, and maybe this series will help us do that, because I think it's equally important. And then finally, there is the stuff that is very hard to put into words. You know, I call it the spirituality, and I don't mean religion whatsoever. I don't not mean religion. I mean whatever it means to you to be spiritual, right? And you know, I want to talk to people all over the world. I'm not naive to not know that this will mean different things to different people, but the concept is the same thing. It's the stuff that we can't show. It's the stuff that you can't write. It's the stuff that doesn't fit into equations, or the stuff that you can't necessarily put into diagrams. This is the stuff that you feel, you know, your connection to whatever it is that you believe you're connected to, you know. And then if there's a God, there's a God. If there's aliens, there's aliens. If the universe is the universe. Whatever it is that makes you spiritual, right? And there are the 4 elements that are really focused on the mindset, the body set, the heart, the loving set, so to speak. And then there is a spirituality set. I think they're all equally important, and perhaps in this series we'll address each of them one by one. For this one, we'll talk about the mindset. The mindset is important because what we think about, we bring about, right? If you buy a new car tomorrow, have you noticed that you start noticing that car everywhere you go? Now, it's not that they sold cars like yours in the last 24 hours. The cars were already there, but now your mind is geared, your mind is ready to notice those things because it matters to you now, it's important to you. And so you see them, right? What you think about, you bring about. If you think about a time of your life when you were really, really happy and you had fun, you probably start to experience some of those feelings. If you think of a time when you really had painful experiences, you probably feel some of those bad feelings. What we think about, we bring about. It's so important. What we think about then dictates our internal dialogue, the stuff that we tell ourselves, I'm not good enough, I can't do that. And then the stuff that we say, and eventually becomes so hardwired that we end up saying it to our kids, right? And we then expect a different result. We then expect kids to be happy and succeed when we perhaps been telling them, maybe very subtly, a very negative story for all their lives. So what we think about, we bring about in many different forms. Mindset is incredibly important. I think we'll probably address many sub-points of mindset eventually, but the ones that I really like, that really serve me today and they've done for the past few months, are the ability to really generally focus on the good stuff, not to be blind of the bad stuff. The bad stuff isn't actually bad, it's just what it is. And to learn from it and to take the steps that we need to get out of the bad stuff, or to stop causing the bad stuff if we are causing it. But then we need to focus on the good stuff. And if you are watching this, chances are that you have way more things to be grateful for than you have to not be grateful for. The very fact that I'm here, I can breathe, my lungs work. Do you know what that means to somebody who's got lungs issues and maybe is in hospital? My legs work, I can speak, I'm here, I can do this. These are all things that I think if we have, we need to be grateful for. The stuff that we have around us, the people, the money, the luxuries, the essentials, the food, the bed that we can sleep on. I mean, sometimes I go to bed and I really give thanks for the mattress and the duvet that I have, because I know that very moment somebody not very far from me in Cambridge, in the same neighborhood, somebody's sleeping on the street. So what we think about, we bring about, is really also an act of gratitude and realizing what we have oftentimes is not really earned. We just have it because we're lucky, and it's good to think about those things. And then another practice that I really like is discipline. And I put myself through hard times. I get up extremely early, not because I have to, but because I want to really work on my discipline. Willpower, discipline, and the art of not quitting when we don't need to quit. It's a muscle. It's, people think it's inborn. It's not. It's a muscle. The more we train it, and the more it develops, the stronger it gets. And whilst getting up very early and pushing myself through hard, painful workouts is not something I need today, it might give me the mental strength that I need tomorrow to face a harder situation. So these are really practices that serve me practically today. And kindness, I sometimes stop and try, and I fail many times, by the way, but I try to get myself into other people's shoes and to really see what it feels like to have the problem that they're describing, and maybe try to be more empathetic and try to be more helpful, more useful, more helpful. And that goes with my kids, that goes with my dog sometimes. I think it's just a practice of mindset that isn't specifically geared at any one person or any one situation, but it's just the exercise for the mind to develop a strong mindset. There's more to say about mindset. Maybe we'll do more of these on mindset if you guys like it. We'll then address things like productivity, and we'll address things like strategies and tools to get more done and so on. But I think it all starts from the mind. If the mind is geared and is placed in such way that allows our faith and our confidence to be placed in the right place, then everything else, the productivity, the spirituality, the heart and so on, everything else is a bit easier, but the mind needs to be right. We need to come from a place of gratitude and not from a place of scarcity. With that, I'm grateful for your attention, and see you guys later.